All right, here we are. Let's rev it up. All right, let's just go. We're gonna go now. Okay. Oh, hey, hello there. Today we're going to be reviewing an electric car on the racetrack. Typically, electric cars and the racetrack aren't very synonymous with each other. So we're going to see if I can give myself some self-induced range anxiety, if you will. Pretty excited to see myself sweat on how much I'm zapping the battery. I want to thank BMW of South Austin for letting me borrow the i4 to take to the track today. I promised them I wouldn't do anything too stupid, so don't expect me to be driving 11 tenths. I am praying that I don't bin it. So the key here today is just drive comfortably fast and don't bin it. I am on some all-season 500 treadwear Pirellis, which first of all, Pirellis are not my favorite tires. Second of all, they're all seasons on a 5,000 pound car. That's right, this car is 5,000 pounds. That's about 600 pounds more than an M5 competition. I'll let that sink in a second. You got it? Cool. All right, well, let's take it on the track and let's see how she does. I'm gonna put it in the battery mode, which is a regenerative braking mode. So it's not using the brakes to recover that energy. It's actually using the motors, this is dual motor, to kind of work against themselves to give it some juice back in there. Think of it as a Formula One KERS system, so a kinetic energy recovery system. Yeah, race technology. That's what's up. Shred the gnar. I'm curious, very curious. Am I nervous? Not really. Again, I'm not going to be pushing this super duper hard as I had promised, and also I'm not going to push it hard just because we're on 500 treadwear tires. These things are pretty much riding like on stiff hard plastic. Yeah, let's see how it does with just one pedal driving. So B for B mode is one pedal driving. So that's off the throttle, back on. So you see my speed, we're at 48 off the throttle, and we're slowing down. Like, it's not aggressive like you find in the Tesla system, but it is a point of contingency to where you could actually drive this with one pedal the whole time. I was doing that the whole way here because I actually like this mode. It's very confusing for a lot of people. A lot of people don't like it because they want it to coast, so there is the option to do that in this car. We're gonna put it in sport mode. So now we're in sport mode. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the traction mode, which gives us a little bit of slip. It kind of limits DSC, so dynamic stability control is limited. Therefore, we're gonna be able to slip a little bit more. Holy crap. This car under acceleration is, oh, the tire's already singing. This car under acceleration is ridiculous. Oh God, 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. BMW claims 3.6, people have gotten 3.3. Okay, so we're kind of getting used to this because I am not used to the dynamics of this car yet. And it is such a lunky car. Like it in day-to-day driving, this car is extremely smooth. It's extremely competent. It's very easy to drive. On a track, you can feel this thing just catapulting itself. Oh my God, torrential understeer. One thing I've noticed about this car that is a massive turnoff is, dear Lord, oh, this is so fast. Nothing like having instant torque out of a corner. One thing I've noticed about this car is it has torque steer. That's right, I said torque steer. We've got serious torque steer in this car. It's the weirdest thing to say that this car has all-wheel drive, yet it has torque steer. Like, the front wheels die to get traction on acceleration. Like, you can hear them eating up the road. And again, it could be just because the all-season tires that are on this one, on this example, maybe some stickier tires would make a huge difference. But other than that, yeah, it's like trying its best to get traction in the front grip. So I hope that BMW one day tunes that out to where they put more of the power towards the rear instead of the fronts. I mean, they might have tuned it just for performance tires, but wow, this is a lumbering car on the brake. The brakes are actually not that bad. We do have the M Sport brakes, which are, I believe they're 4-piston on this car, which is baffling to me. I would put 6-piston, but it might be something to do with saving, and they know that people aren't going to bring these cars to a racetrack, even though there's like a cooling package for these cars. So that's kind of contradictory. I don't like that. But the brakes themselves are actually pretty solid. It is working in tangent with the B mode. Look at this. Understeer city. I am like half locked there. My tires are going that way, but we're plowing straight. Man, these tires do not like this, but this car itself is actually a blast. Center of gravity right down here. It's super weird because in a Tesla, I've driven a couple of Model 3 performance dual motors, some Model S's. Center of gravity feels lower than on this car. This car is relatively high up in terms of feeling, for me at least. Another weird aspect of this is there's no transmission. There's no downshifting. There's no paddle shifters. I keep wanting to subconsciously just like click the downshift paddle just to downshift into a corner. It's not having it, man. Look. Coming in real hard on the brakes there. Oh my goodness. And you can hear the Hans Zimmer soundtrack in here. No, bird, get out of my way. Oh my God, this is such a lumbering car. I can just sit here and do this the whole time. Look at that. See if we can get some weight transfer. Oh, we got a little bit of weight transfer. Just a little bit. Yeah, if you do some Manji drift type stuff, this car will cooperate right. It's dialing back the power. It's insane that we're hitting 100 right there. It's dialing back the power quite a bit. Oh, I didn't check what we started off at. I think we started off at like 70% battery. We're at 64. It says 219 miles of range. I don't buy that for a moment. Let's see. We're gonna figure this out. Hold on. All right. DSC activate anyway. Okay. Again, it's a very, very large car, so got to be mindful of that. Let's see if Dsc Off changes any of the dynamics of the car. Oh, it does. It's still cutting back my power under cornering. That is interesting because everything should be off, but damn the computers. They're saying middle of the corner, they're cutting my front wheel power because I want to show you guys the understeer this car has. So we can get this to rotate a little bit. It is just plowing. This is Plow City, baby. Come on, baby, we're going to Plow City today. It is fun though. Like, I'm gonna say this car is actually surprisingly fun. It's extremely comfortable on the road. The steering feel there is none. It feels like a baby's first steering wheel in terms of like the actual feedback, but you know what the car is doing. Like, I feel the chassis flexing, moving around and lumbering and just throwing its inertia around. But other than that, man, like this is a car that is definitely a fun daily driver to an extent. But in terms of like driving at the limit and driving quick, it's having a really hard time. And I knew this coming into this. I didn't think it was going to be this gnarly. I love this car. By the way, I if I wasn't buying a house or looking into it, I would be looking at getting one of these in a single motor daily driver just so I can keep the miles off the M2, but that might come later on in the future. But this car is a lot of fun for a day-to-day commute. It's fun to have instant torque, one pedal drive. It's super quiet in here. It's insanely quiet in here. Insanely smooth too. Like 100 miles per hour in this car doesn't feel like 100 miles per hour. This car feels like, it feels like you're going 40. Like, I know BMWs and German cars convey speed in a terrible way, in a good way actually, meaning that I know that's kind of contradictory, but basically, like, you don't realize how fast you're going. That could be a good thing or a bad thing in terms of like the cops and also you speeding. But the thing is, you don't feel it, so that's the good part about it. So this car does an especially good job about that. It is super, super quiet. It's a comfy ride. On the track, I'm straight chilling right now. Like this is just such a fun little like chill thing. Let's see if we can. Oh, okay, we got something. We got something. I think the tires are getting heated up a little bit more. I had to drop like 10 psi per each tire because like the rears were at 50 for some reason and the fronts were at like 45. On the door card it says you should be doing 39 in the front, 44 rear, so it's just like kind of ridiculous. Oh, that was like me on the throttle. Oh gosh. All right, let's go put this guy up. This well, actually one more lap. This is a lot of fun. I'm having a good time right now. This is hilarious. Like what is this? He's just like literally just like lunking into a corner, and it's is it confidence inspiring? No. It's not confidence inspiring. This is like, it's not terrifying either though. So that's the thing. It's not terrifying. It's not confidence inspiring. It's just kind of like rolling dice, and you never know what you're gonna get, and that's probably a bad thing. Holy crap, man. I will say though, this thing is quick. Like we're going around that corner right there going 90. Just pinned in there going 90 around that corner. I love me some instant torque, I'll say that. Holy crap. Come on, man. I told BMW South Austin I wouldn't get sideways or do anything silly, but it's hard not to try it right there at that corner, because it's a little weird off camber corner. You can definitely like pitch a car sideways. Yeah, look at this. All right, I think that's gonna be a wrap for this guy. We're at 53% of the battery life, which is weird because it says 207 miles of range, so it didn't really deplete that much. Yeah, we were at 70 at the beginning. It's like a little over 70, I should say. Now we're at 52%. So I did induce some range anxiety. All right, man. Yeah, we're gonna pit this beast. Hold on. This car's stupid. This car's dumb. Come on. All right. I guess I got to give my final conclusions on this car. I'll tell you this. It's not a track car by any means. Probably never will be. However, it is a lot of fun to drive. Like, a lot of fun to drive. It's mindless fun because you don't have to shift. You don't have to think about much. You don't have to think about steering input, nothing. Like, it's just literally mindless point and go affair. I can't even describe this. Yeah, I've got some thinking to do on this one. So we're going to go to the tier list. I'll see you there. Welcome to the tier list. Let's talk electric. I want to get this out of the way. The i4 has a lot of character to it. It has a good personality. And what I mean by that is typically electric cars to me don't really have a lot of emotion. However, the i4 did have a good character, a good personality to it. I've driven Tesla before. As I had mentioned, I've driven quite a bit of Teslas, some really cool Teslas. I enjoy them besides the build quality. The thing about Tesla I have an issue with is the car's character isn't present. They're awesome. You get the ether burning and you keep pushing the throttle. You punch it a bunch of times. You make your friends laugh. It's just ridiculous. The blood rushes to the back of your head under acceleration. But the thing is, once all that wears off, the fun goes away. The character kind of dies out for me. I like to describe Teslas as someone you see at the bar on the other side of the bar that's extremely attractive and you're very drawn to them and you go and talk to them, but they have zero personality. That doesn't mean I don't like Teslas. I think that they're really awesome. awesome. I'm gonna need to grab one, put it on track, and really see how I think. The i4, otherwise known as the G26, since it shares the same CLAR BMW platform with the 4 Series, is a great and tough chassis. There was no flex whatsoever that I found from this chassis, especially being electric and especially being heavy. It's a great chassis. The M50 is powered by a dual motor that makes 536 horsepower and 586 foot-pounds of torque with 5,018 pounds of car. The battery is an 81.7 kilowatt hour battery. The weight distribution is a shocking, pun intended, 48.2 front percent to 51.8 rear percent distribution. That's actually really good. The G26 cuts through the air with a drag coefficient that's really low at 0.24 drag coefficient. That's insane. On track, the range did not suffer as much as I anticipated. I spent about 20 minutes to about half an hour out there on the track, and I depleted probably around 30%, maybe 35% of the battery, with plenty left to get me home. Not really going to talk about an engine or transmission because there's nothing going on here. You already know it's fast, it's electric. However, one thing under acceleration with its around 3.5 to 3.3 0 to 60 time is I noticed that the front wheels had torrential torque steer. It's so weird feeling torque steer, first of all, in a BMW, and second of all, in an all-wheel drive car. Those front tires definitely had a hard time trying to get traction under full straight line acceleration. If you ever get a chance to try launch mode in one of these cars, it's an absolute blast. Just be mindful that the torque steer may pull you to the side a little bit. Okay, in terms of the handling suspension, this car overall had great turn-in and great exit. However, mid-corner, it was odd. Odd as in I cannot describe it because I don't know what the front end was doing. Supposedly this car has more negative camber for handling, but with some throttle mid-corner trying to come out of an apex, you will probably find yourself outside of the apex. I really hope to one day drive one of these cars that's prepped up a little bit better with some better tires, because I think that this car would be an absolute killer. The braking is actually really good in this car. Paired up with the regenerative braking battery mode, the M Sport 4-piston single slide in the rear brakes held up really well. There was no race brake fluid put in this car. There was no overheating issues. I didn't feel any weird wobbles coming into the corners after a bunch of laps, because I did quite a few laps. Overall, placing the i4 in the tier list, I was thinking that I was going to put this somewhere in A tier when I first started driving the car. However, on the track, it's like a higher C tier, but we'll put it at a low B tier because this car kind of evens out. To me, it's a high C tier on the track. However, on the street, this car is an absolute S tier of a car. It's comfy, it's smooth, it's super quiet, it's fast, it handles well at speed for the corners on the street. However, on the track, I think with the proper setup of those tires, this car is going to be completely transformed. Is the i4 M50 worthy of the M badge? In a straight line, absolutely. In the corners, I don't know. That's to be determined, really. The brakes, fantastic. They're totally good. I don't know that the chassis worthy of the M badge. Overall, let's just say yes. This car is worthy of the M badge. However, it's not a true M. I am anticipating to see if BMW is ever going to release some sort of maybe IM4, and let's talk about that when that happens, if that happens. It would be silly of BMW's M division not to get their hands on one of these cars and completely Frankenstein a bunch of M bits underneath the subframe and suspension to see what they can really do with this car, because I know heavy cars can handle very well. Just look at some of the Teslas that are really heavy. Look at the X5M competition. That car is supposedly faster than my M2 competition on the track, which is mind-boggling because the car is like twice that size. One thought that I'm left with is the i4, the non-M50, is a single motor, so I think that might shave off some weight substantially, and it's also rear-wheel drive. So I'm curious to see if that car is going to be a little bit more playful and a little bit more fun on the track. Do you feel that this placement on the tier list is justified? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for getting this far and watching. Please don't forget to like. If you'd like to subscribe, it's free. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It would be much appreciated of you. Until next time, bye!